just the wrong way to think about it. I want to talk about a couple of examples that I've had through the court system, and I've talked to a couple of people. We've had community mediation in Summit County in the past, and it proved to be extremely successful. Their operating budget was around $80,000. And it comes down to cases of neighbor dispute or roommate dispute. Instead of putting them through the judicial process, you refer them to mediation, and it actually helps to build that community instead of this adversarial system. I had a case that got dismissed on a discovery violation on the night of trial, and it was literally two neighbors, and one neighbor called the other neighbor chicken shit, and we were going to take this to trial. I mean, this is just insanity. So, and jurors are upset because it's their time and it's the money and it's the courts. And, maybe if it hadn't gone through the judicial system, something bad could have happened between these neighbors, but that's why we need community mediation. That's why we need these programs to move the funds to something different than they are. So I don't think it's that we need more money. I think we need more awareness and to spend the money that we have correctly.
Bruce Gary?
I think the biggest problem in our criminal justice system here in the Fifth is ego. We have leadership that is too consumed with their ego. They want to be, Bruce Springsteen sings a song, everybody wants to be the man at the top. And I believe that what we have going on here is someone who wants to advance to further political office. And to that end, he's trying to get notches in his gun belt where he takes cherry-picking cases and tries them himself as though he is the great hero, proving a murder case with the murder weapon under her mattress. Helen Keller could see who killed the person. But, by golly, he rode his great white horse in and tried that case and sings his own praises about it and is hoping, I believe, to move on to higher political office. I've been told that by other elected officials around Eagle County. I think that we need to lessen that ego and listen to the community. We once had an assistant DA named Rob Wheeler. Rob Wheeler was Mensa level smart. He actually took and passed the Mensa test, but would rather play bluegrass and drink beer on weekends than go to Mensa meetings. You could tell Rob Wheeler a complex legal argument, and he would listen to you attentively, and then he would comment on what you said. He would agree in part, disagree in part, and give you what he thought was a fair offer after patiently and politely listening to your legal argument. Currently, we have people being barred from the DA's office. Sanam and Summit, the two gyms in the back of the room have both been barred from the DA's office. And now one of them's allowed back in, but what are they afraid of? Is somebody gonna give too good a legal argument and ruin their day? We need to get that ego out of the criminal justice system and work on quality of justice, not quantity of convictions.
What particular skills or strengths would you bring to this office?
I think my biggest strength is having a fresh outlook on the judicial system. This is something that I've been voicing through this, and I don't want to take anyone's time by going over it again. But that's just it. I want a new approach. I want a modern approach. I want to give people a helping hand. And I want to always remember being that kid that got the DUI and had her second chance. And I want to give that second chance back to our community. And again, prosecute the 10% that we really need protection from. And to that end, again, I say that my biggest strength is knowing my weaknesses, and that's why I want to surround myself with staff that is capable, that I trust to do the right job.
Bruce Carey?
Logic.
Okay, we're done. Bruce Brown?
You know,
That's it.
Okay.
the community faces a lot of challenges in the criminal justice system. None of us are perfect, none of the judges, none of the probation officers, none of the prosecutors are perfect. What I tried to do is create an office that has all of the tools at its disposal as the most sophisticated offices in the state, such as the front range offices. So when we talk about things like standing grand jury, which we've had now in the district for 3 terms, that's a big deal. This district hasn't had that since the Wild West days. And it gives us tools as prosecutors and as community members that are really important. So for example, on a case where a witness may not want to cooperate, the police knock on his door and say, hey, I heard you're a witness in the shooting. Talk to you. That witness can close the door in the police officer's face and say, I'm not talking. There's nothing the police officer can do. So one of the good uses of a grand jury is enabling us to compel that witness to come in, and as long as they don't have a Fifth Amendment privilege, and if they're a witness, they've got nothing to hide, they have to participate in the legal process. And so, you know, Bruce criticizes me for micromanaging maybe, and I think sometimes it's true. I involve myself in a lot of things. But when I work with law enforcement, a lot of times we're working with officers that have never had a sex assault case. They've never had a shooting. And so if it's not the prosecutor who's going to ultimately be responsible for prosecuting that case, who has the experience to manage that type of complex situation, who's it going to be? Are we just going to criticize the DA because he sticks his nose into their business and victim cases go unprosecuted? And that's not acceptable to me. So what I bring to the office is knowledge, breadth of experience, and wisdom.
Let me see if there's a final question out here. If not, then I'm going to give it 2 minutes each to wind up. Anybody have anything else? All right. I gave Sanam the last word, Bruce the first word. Before someone give Bruce Carey the first final word in 2 minutes.
So, November 10th, 2016. If I'm elected November 8th, November 10th, I will contact Tyra Welch, who began her career as a victim advocate here, became a deputy DA here, left the day before Mr. Brown took office, where she beat out 100 other applicants to become a Jeffco deputy DA, where she's a felony prosecutor. Tyra and I will send out a memo to everybody. All those who wish to stay in the office, email us. All those that are leaving, email us. And then we will replace those who are leaving, and we will interview all those who wish to stay. Heidi McCollum is here. She has never done a criminal jury trial on her own in her life. We would have an assistant DA who is a good trial lawyer, who we can count on to do criminal jury trials. I do criminal jury trials. I will continue to do them. We will work administratively. I will put a career prosecutor in charge of each one of the 4 offices. That career prosecutor will help in the training of each county's DA's office. We will be accountable as to what our plea offers are and as to what our jury trials are. When we make a criminal charge, we will expect to win that criminal charge. Under Mr. Brown, we had a deputy sheriff get charged with sex assault, and it resulted in a non-sex assault plea. That is wrong, and that woman told me that from the very beginning with the DAs, she felt re-victimized. Women at the Lake County advocates have told me that since the woman was charged with lying to an investigator in Lake County, 2 other sexual assault victims have declined to press charges because they are afraid of retribution from Mr. Brown. That will end January 10, 2017.
Bruce Brown, 2 minutes.
Thanks. So we've done a lot of really good stuff, and I think I've talked to some of it in the last couple hours, and I appreciate you sticking with us. I want to also mention a really important change that we made, which was, and there's been a focus on sex assault within the office, and before I became DA, I went to Boulder and I saw the model. And we have now teams, they're called sex assault review teams in both Eagle County and Summit County. And we bring all the stakeholders together in a room. We bring the sex assault nurse, we bring the law enforcement officers, and we bring the prosecutors, and we try to build these cases to be as strong as they possibly can. And in the last few weeks, we're talking about now expanding on that type of an idea, and with the other stakeholders building a child advocacy center where young children who have been victimized can come and they can tell their stories in a safe place, and they can then get the treatment they need in that same safe place. Right now, those children either have to go to River Bridge, which is over in Glenwood Springs, or they have to go to Ralston House, which is in Jefferson County. So it's just too far. And if we have a facility like that within our county, within our district, I think that will be really good. I'm a strong person, and I'm not going to let judges just run their courtroom the way they see fit. There's something called a separation of powers, and the district attorney is part of the executive, and the judges are part of the judiciary. So when Mr. Carey tells you that he's going to let the judges run their courtroom, it ain't going to happen when I'm district attorney. I'm going to be a strong voice for victims every single day, and a strong voice for justice, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter to me what judges think. It matters what we do for the community. It's victims, the public, and last, but important, the offenders and how they're treated. And I intend to build on the successes that we've had in the last 4 years and represent you well as your district attorney.
Sonnenalp, 2 minutes, please.
There is respect for the judiciary, and I have respect for my judges when I go into their courtroom, because it is their courtroom. And now that it's election year, we're talking about child advocacy groups, and we're talking about Vet Connect. We've had 4 years. Now that it's election year, Bruce knows exactly what to say. He knows how to scare us with big crimes, but I haven't heard anything in regards to restorative justice. I haven't heard about anything that brings humanity to the judicial system, respect to the judicial system. And it's just devastating. Like I said, I'm not a politician, and I have to do something and make our voices heard, not just mine, ours. I've heard complaints from victims. I've heard complaints from law enforcement. I mean, some of the biggest critics of the DA's office is law enforcement. The judges are tired. Their dockets are so backed up. They see the stuff that's going through their courtroom that should never go through the courtroom. Judge Casillas just added a Tuesday trial docket. That's never happened. You guys know how expensive it is to have a trial? And if they were winning these trials, then I would give them credit for it. But they're not even winning. 2 wins in 2.5 years or so? 2 wins between 4 DDAs? What are we doing? Is that what experience is? Because if that's experience, I don't want it. I'll take my new approach and fresh approach and what I have and give it my all. And regardless of what happens in this election, I'm going to be a voice for victims from now on. I'm going to build and be a champion for an advocacy group for our vets, an advocacy group for our mental health, so we can succeed as a community. I will help this community succeed, and that's what I want to do in this election. And I need your vote to do it, especially as an independent. I need your help. I need your vote. Please, make our voices be heard in this. Thank you.
So let me thank everybody for being here, taking time out of your day to be here. Also, join me in thanking the candidates. This isn't easy stuff to be put on the spot like that. And all of them are striving to be public servants or continue to be. And I congratulate them, and I'm sure everybody joins me in that. I also want to thank Continental Divide Bar Association, and please everybody drive home safely. Thank you.
Hey, good to see you.